Hidden Gems of Detroit, the local TV show where each week we highlight a special place which is not known to many people who reside in and around the Motor City. This week, we highlight Detroit's Woodlawn Cemetery. Tucked away behind the wrought iron gates along a busy stretch of highway sits one of Detroit's most well-known cemeteries. Woodlawn Cemetery is located on the westbound side of Woodward Avenue between 7 and 8 Mile, directly across from the Michigan State Fairgrounds. A stone's throw away from the downtown area, Woodlawn is one of the Motor City's most obscure yet well-known cemeteries. Founded in 1895, the cemetery encompasses 140 acres of lush trees and shrubbery. Along the interwinding paved roads of this tranquil museum in stone, you will no doubt stroll past a multitude of private mausoleums and granite monuments belonging to some of the most well-known families in the history of Detroit. The families and personalities, some of whom you'll meet on today's show, are a who's who mosaic from the world of politics, music, film, and industry. The first stop on the magnificent Woodlawn tour are Horace and John Dodge, the sibling duo who were born in the 1860s in Niles, Michigan. Starting out in 1901 with a machine shop, conveniently called Dodge Brothers, moving along they originally manufactured engine parts for the Olds Motor Works Company and the Ford Motor Company. In 1914, when Henry Ford refused to buy them out, the Dodge brothers then produced their own automobiles. By 1920, the company the brothers founded produced around 500,000 vehicles in the Motor City. In January of 1920, John Dodge passed away from complications of the Spanish flu. Meanwhile, in December that same year, Horace Dodge also passed away from complications of the Spanish flu. The brothers, along with several relatives, reside in this Egyptian-style mausoleum, continuing through the tranquil confines of Woodlawn. Over here, you will find the Egyptian-style mausoleum of Detroit brewing magnate Conrad Pfeiffer. Born in the German province of Hessen, Conrad arrived in America in 1871. Later on, after his arrival in the United States, Pfeiffer opened his brewery on Mack Avenue between Beaufait and Bellevue Avenue on the outskirts of downtown Detroit. Pfeiffer was one of Bernard Stroh's biggest regional competitors. And finally, rounding out this centerpiece in stone, we're going to pay homage to one of Woodlawn's war heroes. The hero I speak of is World War II Medal of Honor recipient James Okubo. Born in 1920, Okubo served in the United States Army as a technician 5th grade, serving as a combat medic in the 442nd Regimental Combat Team, which was an Asian American regiment during World War II. Okubo tragically lost his life in 1967 when he was killed in a traffic accident while living in Detroit. In the mid-1990s, a review of service records of Asian Americans who were decorated soldiers in World War II led to Okubo posthumously being awarded the Medal of Honor. In June of 2000, at a ceremony at the White House, surviving members of Okubo's family were presented with his Medal of Honor by then-President Bill Clinton. Finally, to close, there are many notable people buried in Woodlawn Cemetery. From the world of Motown records comes David Ruffin, Levi Stubbs, Obie Benson, and a host of others. J.L. Hudson, the department store magnate, has a mausoleum here. Rosa Parks resides in the chapel. So when you have some spare time or you happen to be in the area, why don't you swing by Woodlawn and check out what this historic museum in stone has to offer?